Alright, hey guys, we're back to Overhead Hands Talking, and that's just because this is a little tiny package that I wanted to show off because I'm really excited for the miniatures inside. I'm going to compare them to some Games Workshop miniatures. That's how good these are. Let's dive in. As I do in every video, I'd like to start out with a quick thank you to my YouTube members and my patrons, because it is through their financial support that this channel remains independent so that I give you my honest coverage and not my wallet's honest coverage, which isn't very honest at all when it's being paid for. So, if you appreciate that level of honesty and independence from the game companies as I critique them, then there's a link down below for you. But if not, that's fine too. A like, a comment saying that this was helpful, all that kind of stuff is actually really helpful, and I appreciate it a lot. Okay. Now this, let's see how these were sent. Some packaging here. Individual minis inside of baggies. That's always fun. Okay, got these. And you guys already know what these are thanks to the thumbnail. And that's it. Okay. Alright, now before we get any farther, I'll be right back. I want to go ahead and get a resin miniature of this. Alright, just for comparison's sake, I now have the miniature version as well, and as you can see, one of his axes broke, so sue me, it's fine, I can glue it on, it's easy enough to do. Here is a secret miniature I will show towards the end with a spoiler warning. Alright, let's go ahead, let's do a direct comparison right away. Let's get him, if we have him. Maybe we don't even have him. Maybe I grabbed the wrong one. I grabbed a bad one. That's fine. That's okay. Alright, here. Let's go and get the Kerr here, because he's cool. Alright, now, obviously these are still prototypes, still being worked on. I know specifically they sent back for some more work on some of these, just to make sure that they're extra snug, especially from the middle section here. Let's go and zoom in. Nice and close. Alright, so here is the curtain. As you can see, these miniatures are huge. I mean, they are big, right? So they're already working on the two halves here, just to make sure that those are extra snug. You'd have to really want to move them off here. Looks like he is in the base. I don't know if I can take him off the base. For now, I'm not going to try and take anything off. We're just going to look at some of these weapons here. So, I'm assuming this is the right one. Fits right in. And the left one fits right in. Look at that. So here is the finished miniature. See, pretty darn close here. This one is a little off. They both have a little bit of a gap up here on the back. It'd be nice if it could fit a little bit more in there. This one's pretty close. This one seems to have a gap no matter which way. No, I did it right. See, it like naturally, you see how it guides that though? Because it's angled here, so it kind of has to go in at that angle. So, there's that. Anyway, I think he looks great, obviously, right? I mean, that's really good. And the detail level here, if we're just going to talk detail, let's talk detail. I mean, look at, first of all, even just the base and the sculpted base part here. And then the rock he's kind of jumping off of here, even the back of it. And of course the cape flowing down and the ripples in there. It's going to wash really, really well. Them being multi-piece is actually kind of nice. It means that you can paint up in here easily, which is kind of nice. Or even just prime black up in there if you need to. And then of course, they're mostly just all one piece. It's not like it's like a bajillion pieces, right? I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... probably 7. So 7 pieces, and you have the whole miniature here. Quite nice, I feel. This is about a little bit. I know I'm kind of close on the camera there. There we go. Yeah, no, he looks great. And again, seems to hold pretty well, right? Even if you pick him up like that. That one's a little loose. Then because the slash is going up, right? So it's kind of a natural slide out when you pick him up like that. So, I mean, don't pick him up and shake him, but if you just grab him, he seems to be okay. There is a little bit of move. A little bit of wiggle here. I tend to, just use some glue or some putty or something like that Alright, so here I have some regular, just cheapo poster putty. You know, not even blue tack brand here. You need very little, obviously. In fact, this is already sold probably too much. But we're going to go big or go home at first. So you just wrap that in there. Again, you could get this like anywhere. That's going to be way too much. Stick that in there. Like so. There we are. Yeah, see, a little bit too much because it's... Oh man, it's like stuck in there now. There we go. Alright. I always do too much and then I have to tone it down. Actually, just what's left in there is probably good. So just, again, a little bit. And then just slide it on in there. Come on. There we are. So now you can't see any putty. Alright? You can lift him up just fine. He's not going anywhere. It's not coming out. It's not loosening. There's a little bit of a turn, I think, that maybe you can still do. Yeah, so it still kind of pops out maybe a little bit. But, I mean, seriously, I mean, at this point, you're being kind of ridiculous, right? It's fine, right? It doesn't, like, naturally wiggle too much. There is still a little bit of a give there. But that's okay. You can just do stabbing motions. All right, looking at the detail level from what we saw on the prototype versus the hips, I'm sad I don't have a 1-to-1. I'd have to go upstairs to grab this, and I don't want to do that, so I apologize for being a little lazy here. But, I mean, you can see that the detail level is still pretty darn crazy. If we're looking at kind of similarities between, like, maybe, like, the stuff that's on, like, his waist versus his chest, right, when it comes to, like, a few details layered on top of each other, right? Or especially, like, right here, right, compared to right here. I think the hips actually looks a little bit better. It's a little bit more refined than this kind of stuff right here. But yeah, I mean, this looks great. It looks really nice. There's some great detail level there for sure. Okay, so, and this one again, I could also do, but we're gonna hold off on doing that for a little bit. What I wanted to show, I have this Necron guy. He's from the Indominus box. One of the nice things about the Necrons here is you can actually swap their guns. They have 2 different guns, and the push to fit on this, I actually glued all of them together. I'm OCD like that. You guys know that. So they're all glued, and not in the base, because I'm going to do some custom 3D prints for the base. But I can go here and pop that off, and now his arm is off, right? And so if you notice, there's like this little dimple thing here. Let's show you that. See, just a little dimple thing right there. It goes right in there. And then this just slides into that space there. So first you do this, and you kind of have to angle it in a little bit. There we go. And then you pop it in there. So that's how that works, which again is fairly similar to how this works. So this actually just like slides, and then there's just some resistance. Now, how many times can you do this? How many times are you planning on doing this? I don't know. But either way, this hip's plastic. I mean, there's not enough resistance here to really grind at it. In fact, there could, I think, certainly be more. But you don't want to, like, bend the miniature trying to take pieces off, too. Let's go and take a look at it some more. Here is the Warden. And, again, that base is just exquisite, right? That is a fantastic base. Like, great looking. Then we have a shield and a shield arm. It looks like, ooh, that just goes in just like so. And then this would go in like so. Ooh. And then this would go in like so. So see the whole flat part here. Just like that. There we are. Now we'll see. This is really loose, but I know they're working on him right now. But that is like really loose. Right, so this definitely needs to be... Let me actually push them together more. Maybe that's the issue. No, not really. What a great looking mini though, right? I mean, and again, like all put together, he looks totally fine. You wouldn't even tell because all of the hidden part is underneath, right? You'd have to like lift him up like this to see. Or it's right near this big, shoulder pad, level 47 purple shoulder pad. And so that line is just naturally there anyway, so it looks pretty darn good. And as you can see, it goes really flush there too, which is nice. Just overall, really, really good. You're gonna have to work on the tightening on here, but I was specifically told they're working on him, so I'm not too concerned on that. They're definitely going back and forth and doing that process. Detail-wise, looking at his face, you can see all the hair there. He can wiggle his head a little bit too. And again, you can always glue everything but the arms in. There's no problem if you want to, but you don't have to. Let me see if I can't actually take him apart. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's take that out here. Oh man, I'm dropping pieces. Okay, and again, of course, I'm taking apart. I'm sure the guys over there are like, "Why are you taking this one apart?" Because I know they're working on it, but we're gonna go ahead and take them all apart and see. All right, so there are all the pieces to the Warden. So, I don't even know if you need instructions really. So you get the two legs. You just go together like that, right? They're pretty loose, but they got a little post here. And that should keep them, actually, that is really secure onto that base. That is nice. And now they're, nice and pushed together there as well. So then they got two chest pieces. So you can see here with some, obvious guides, posts and stuff like that. So it goes in just like that. I don't know if you need to put the head in first or second. I'm assuming it doesn't really matter. It looks like he just kind of sits in there anyway. So his head's really loose there. And put that in like... Oh, okay, you do have to close it on there. You have to close it on there because it kind of slots in. See, right here. This is the slot right here. That needs to go in. So, you just put it together onto it like that. There we go. Head in. Sword. Head that way. And other weapon. There he is. Alright, so that wasn't too bad at all. Let's see. Looks like we got some man-at-arms. We got some... Okay, let's look at the witch here. This is the other one I have. Take a look here. And again, I think it looks quite good. Again, the detail level, on her clothes and stuff, are amazing. The hair is great. The facial expression, I think, is really good there. She just has her hand here. There's no magic or fire or anything at this point. You can see that there is a line going all the way up there. It's fairly well hidden. And the only problem is because this detail here is so fine, that line is still noticeable because it's not quite as fine. Whereas something like him with the line there... Oh, calm down. With the line there, it's such a big line that it just melts right in. So that is certainly, I think, more noticeable there on the chest and the stomach, just because of how deep that line is. But again, you could gap fill that, or just live like that. That's possible too. Otherwise, it looks like her head is all one piece, and then her arm. I'm trying to see, can she even? It looks like it's a whole cloak thing. Let's take her apart. Let's see what's going on here. Maybe. Take that. There we are. Okay, so she's like 4 pieces. There we go. So it looks like this would probably be the piece you replace here, I would assume. If you're swapping weapons on her. I actually don't recall per se. She might have to have that, but just 3 pieces. That's not bad at all. So you got this one here. She can just slots in like that. And slot her into the base. Oh, look at that base. Oh my goodness, those are great. There are some foot spots, so you don't try and put them backwards like I just did. This will really help painting the base, by the way, because when it's off like that, you can do that really easily. And then that slides in like that. And that's actually really secure. She might be the most secure one, actually. So that's really nice. And again, it just folds where it naturally would fold, so that's good as well. Let's look at some man-at-arms real quick so we can see. So this is much closer to I think what you'd get. I don't think they're iterating on these quite as much as the hips push models, because I think they're already at that point with them where they're pretty good. Not too thick, but a little thick, but not too thick. It still needs a little bit of hot water treatment based off of how I got them in a bag he sent to me in a box custom. Obviously in trays, these guys will be just fine, I imagine, because this is pretty good plastic. From what I can tell, the detail level here is great. You can see this is a multi-piece, even on this. You know, even these little guys here have separate pieces. It's assembled quite nice. I like it. It's fine. And this texture is awesome. And these bases are just great. I actually really, really like it. On the bottom of the boot is flat. I always check the bottom of shoes. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, this guy's cool. I like this guy. All right, here's this guy as well. I like his satchel. Yeah, again, these guys look cool, and I think they paint up really quick, which is nice. This, I would have liked it to curve maybe a little bit more here. I'm fine with this part because, just looking at it, I can see that curve. This almost seems straight. Like, this seems pulled, right? You don't get that necessarily that natural thing. I think if it could curve a little bit more, I think that would be great. The rest of it seems fine. It's just right there. It just looks like it's just stretched where it probably shouldn't. And if it just curved a bit more, like this right here. I hope I'm being clear there. Here, let me zoom in and really kind of show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so right here, you see how this goes where it's just starting to curve, kind of more straight up, whereas this is a little bit farther back and a little bit more into the curve. I think if this was a little bit more to the curve, just pushed back a tiny, tiny bit, I think that would help it not seem like it's being like strung with the leg. But otherwise, I really like this. I think the line here is nice and solid. That'll guide your brush, which is good. It could always be a little bit more, but I'm fine with that. Again, this texture is great. I love the visor in there. That's cool. There is a mold line going straight up the top. In this style helmet, it kind of works, but I never like seeing a mold line straight up the top. I'd rather them be down here, which this is. So it kind of makes like a turn and then goes down this way. And I would have almost rather just gone like this, right? If you could help it. I know that would change how you manufacture it completely, but end result, I would have liked that more. The thickness of this is a little thick. That tends to happen, right? When you got to fill it in there. It would be nice if this was a little bit skinnier. Not quite as thick. It looks like it's wearing like 100-pound blanket on him. But overall, quite nice. I like them. All right, let's get one last one. One last guy here. This guy's like the crazed guy. I like him. I love how he just has like the armor here and then the two weapons. Seems to be straightened out a little bit. It just some general bendiness, but again, I was sent for it really, really weird. You see how much skinnier this is, by the way? So if you compare... Oh, look, they're numbered. I like that. Okay. So you can see the level of skinniness here. It's not skinny, but it's nice. And then you see how thick this is here. And this is thicker than this. And if you could get it to this thickness, I'd really like it. It's almost there, just a smidge more. And I think that would be great. Again, I don't know if that's in their purview or not, but may as well say it while they're making it, right? Okay, so again, the same kind of thing here. I think a little bit more curve would really help right here. The line is there. It's definitely separated, and painting it would make it look a lot different. But not everybody's going to paint them, and I understand that too. So a little bit more curve in there. Even if you just made this leg slightly more rounded, so you artificially made that curve, I think that would help a little bit, not make it seem like the wings underneath Spider-Man's armpits and for 20 years in the comics, if you know what I'm talking about there, where he has like the webbing in between. You just don't want that. Otherwise, I love the battle damage of this guy. This is probably my favorite pose. Okay, so that's all of them. You guys saw that. You guys saw how it compared to maybe something like a Necron. Now, here I have a very, very cool mini. One of my favorites. In fact, it was the first one I commented on when I first started playtesting it. I saw a picture of him. I'm like, this guy is awesome. And so, happen chance, they had him. They sent him to me. I'm excited to show him off. But if you don't want spoilers, thanks for watching. I appreciate it as always. I'll talk to you guys real soon. All right, now for you guys who aren't losers. No, I'm kidding. But I'm excited to see this guy. I really am. Look at this guy. Oh my gosh. Okay, so locking lids, by the way. That's nice. Oh, dear God. Look at him. Incredible. This dude is so freaking awesome. I'm so excited to show this to you. Wow. Okay. I love all the candles that he has on the back. He has like this whole like, this whole like scene back here. This is really flat back here. It'd be nice if there was maybe some kind of texture here would be kind of nice. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, just maybe not flat. It's okay though. It's fine. I'm just being really picky. No, this guy looks awesome. That freaking hammer. I love how he's holding it all the way to the end, by the way. I love his book that's open. There is no writing in here, so you can do some custom writing if you want. How he's holding it with his hand like that is awesome. Every part of this is cool. Again, this is really, really thick here. Like super thick. Even if you can just do a slight incline in, I think that would help this a lot. It doesn't even have to be, like a tiny, tiny incline. I've seen that done before. The battle damage is cool. Look at his freaking helmet. I mean, that's just a cool mini, right? And if you think about, again, the skill here is awesome, but he's tall, right? He's not short. I'll put it that way. Look at the chainmail on that. Oh, that is glorious chainmail. That is, you know how awesome that's going to be? It's going to be amazing. It's a good thickness, too. Love it. Love it a lot. That is great. Great. What a cool mini. That's the way to end this video. That guy's just freaking sweet. I'm sorry, I'm a simple guy and I see stuff like this and I geek out. That is awesome. How's this guy in Warhammer? This guy is freaking awesome. He's going to lead my Grey Knights. Alright. Well, that's it for you guys. We're fine with the mild spoiler there. You know nothing about this guy except good luck fighting him. Anyway, that's it for me. In case you're curious, I am painting the Necrons. I'm doing color theory right now where I'm just testing things out. Not final, but they're going to be purple. With like yellow accents. I think it's going to be sweet, but I guess we'll see. Alright, that's it for me. Thanks so much for watching, guys. As always, I'll be back really soon with another video. Always enjoy hanging out with you guys, so I'll see you in the comments. And with that, have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you soon.